When you're assembling your bug-out bag or packing for a backcountry expedition, every piece of gear feels like a lifeline. But what if some of that equipment is more likely to fail than to save you? The market is flooded with tactical gadgets and survival tools promising unmatched durability and performance. Yet not all of them live up to the hype. In a life-or-death scenario, the difference between a reliable tool and a cheap imitation can be everything. Trusting your safety to substandard equipment is a risk no one should take. This video is designed to help you become a more discerning buyer. We're pulling back the curtain to expose the common pitfalls and deceptive marketing that can lead you to purchase gear that's destined to disappoint. We will explore the specific red flags to watch for when buying survival gear, from flimsy construction to unrealistic claims. You'll learn how to spot the warning signs and make informed decisions, ensuring that every item you carry is one you can truly depend on when it matters most. Your preparedness is only as strong as your weakest link, so let's make sure every link is solid. 1. The Gray Man Dilemma: why your tactical backpack draws unwanted attention. A tactical backpack is often the cornerstone of any preparedness kit. With its MOLLE webbing, multiple compartments, and rugged construction, it's designed for efficiency and durability. These features make it highly appealing to preppers, hikers, and outdoor enthusiasts. However, the very characteristics that make these bags so functional are also what can make them a significant red flag. Originally designed for military and law enforcement use, the distinct, aggressive look of a tactical backpack can immediately associate you with those professions, whether you have a connection to them or not. This association can draw unwanted scrutiny in various situations, from routine travel to emergency scenarios. The problem intensifies when a tactical backpack is paired with other overtly tactical gear. A person carrying a camo-patterned bag, wearing combat boots, and sporting other military-style apparel creates a conspicuous profile. This tactical appearance can be interpreted as a sign of someone looking for trouble or preparing for conflict, rather than simply being ready for an emergency. In a crisis, blending in and avoiding attention, a concept known as being the gray man, is often the wisest strategy for personal safety. A highly visible tactical setup does the exact opposite, potentially making you a target for thieves who assume you have valuable supplies or for authorities who may view you with suspicion. Choosing a backpack is about balancing functionality with perception. While a military-grade pack offers undeniable benefits, it's crucial to consider the message it sends. Opting for a more discreet, civilian-style hiking or travel backpack in muted colors like gray, blue, or black can provide similar durability and organization without broadcasting your preparedness intentions to the world. Ultimately, the best gear keeps you safe without making you a focal point. Understanding the social signals your equipment sends is just as important as knowing how to use it. 2. The weight of protection. Navigating the complexities of body armor. For many who prioritize personal safety, owning body armor seems like a logical step. Plate carriers and ballistic plates are the ultimate defensive tools, designed to protect against life-threatening impacts. However, the purchase of this type of equipment is far from simple. It is often categorized as defensive combat equipment, placing it in a legally sensitive area that can attract significant attention from retailers and law enforcement agencies. The act of buying body armor can, in itself, put you on a watch list, as authorities may monitor such purchases to identify individuals they perceive as preparing for armed conflict. The legal landscape surrounding body armor is complex and varies significantly from one state to another. While it is legal for most civilians to purchase and own in the United States, several states have specific restrictions. For instance, some jurisdictions prohibit individuals with felony convictions from possessing it, and in places like Connecticut, face-to-face transactions are required. Online purchases are often tracked, and your information may be recorded by the seller. This monitoring creates a permanent record linking you to the acquisition of combat-grade gear, which could be misinterpreted or used against you in the future. Beyond the legal hurdles, there are social implications to consider. Owning or being seen with body armor sends a powerful and often alarming message. It can be interpreted as a sign of paranoia or an intent to seek out confrontation. In a survival situation, this can make you a target, as others might assume you are either a threat or protecting something valuable. Before investing in body armor, it is essential to thoroughly research your local laws and understand the potential scrutiny you may face. Weigh the protective benefits against the legal and social risks to make an informed decision that aligns with your overall preparedness strategy. 3. Seeing in the dark. the high-tech gear that raises alarms. The ability to see in complete darkness is a powerful advantage, making night vision goggles, NVGs, and thermal scopes highly sought-after pieces of survival gear. These technologies offer a tactical edge that is unparalleled, allowing users to navigate, observe, and operate effectively when others are blind. However, this same cutting-edge capability is precisely what makes their acquisition a major red flag for retailers and government agencies. This type of equipment is often subject to strict regulations, including International Traffic in Arms Regulations (ITAR), which controls the export and import of defense-related articles. Purchasing high-end night vision or thermal optics can place you under scrutiny, as these tools are commonly associated with military operations and clandestine activities. For authorities, the civilian purchase of advanced surveillance technology can signal a preparedness level that goes beyond typical emergency readiness. It may be interpreted as an intent to operate covertly, evade law enforcement, or engage in paramilitary or militia-related activities. Consequently, sales of these items are often monitored. Depending on the sophistication of the device, you may be required to provide personal information and sign end-user agreements, creating a record of your purchase. This documentation links you directly to the ownership of restricted technology, which could be viewed with suspicion in various contexts. Before investing in night vision or thermal optics, it is critical to understand the legal framework and ethical implication. Research the specific generation and model you are considering, as regulations vary widely. Gen 3 and higher night vision, for instance, is heavily restricted. Ask yourself why you truly need this capability and consider the message its ownership sends. While the allure of seeing in the dark is strong, the potential for legal complications and unwanted attention is a significant risk. Weighing the tactical benefit against the potential for scrutiny is a crucial step in building a responsible and low-profile preparedness plan. 4. Long-range communication devices. In a world reliant on cell phones and the internet, having a backup communication plan seems like a smart move. That's where ham radios and other high-range transceivers come in. These devices are invaluable for off-grid communication, emergency coordination, and connecting with others when conventional systems fail. They operate independently of the cellular network, making them a top choice for preppers, outdoor enthusiasts, and emergency response volunteers. However, acquiring this type of equipment can sometimes draw unwanted attention. The primary reason for scrutiny is their potential for unauthorized communications. Unlike a simple walkie-talkie, powerful transceivers can broadcast over vast distances, potentially interfering with official frequencies or being used for coordinated activities outside of regulated channels. This capability is why obtaining an amateur radio license is a legal requirement in many countries. The licensing process itself creates a record, linking your identity to the ability to operate high-frequency equipment. Furthermore, large or unusual purchases of these devices can be logged by retailers and may be flagged in certain databases. While a single ham radio for a hobbyist is common, buying multiple high-powered units could be interpreted as preparing for something more significant than a weekend camping trip. Authorities might view such purchases as an indicator of someone setting up a communication network intended to operate beyond their oversight, whether for protest organization, anti-government activities, or other coordinated efforts. While the vast majority of users are law-abiding hobbyists and prepared citizens, the dual-use nature of this technology means its acquisition is sometimes viewed with a degree of suspicion. 5. Large volume ammunition and reloading supplies. For firearm owners, buying ammunition in bulk is often a matter of practicality and economics. It reduces the cost per round and ensures a ready supply for range practice, competitions, or hunting season. Similarly, reloading equipment allows enthusiasts to customize their own ammunition, often improving accuracy and further cutting costs. These are common, legal activities enjoyed by millions. However, large-scale acquisitions of ammunition or the components to create it can trigger alerts within certain monitoring systems. The main concern stems from the interpretation of such purchases. While a shooter preparing for a competition might buy thousands of rounds at once, this behavior can also be associated with a high preparedness or defensive mindset that authorities may deem worthy of a closer look. Law enforcement and security agencies often monitor data for patterns that could suggest someone is stockpiling resources for a potential conflict or illegal activity. The automatic reporting of significant ammunition sales to certain databases is a reality in some jurisdictions. This process is designed to flag outliers, purchases that fall far outside the typical consumer pattern. Moreover, acquiring the tools and materials for reloading casings, primers, powder, and projectiles can be viewed as an attempt to build an untraceable supply of ammunition. Hand-loaded rounds lack the commercial head stamps and lot numbers that can be used to trace factory-made ammo. While most reloaders are simply dedicated hobbyists, this capability can be perceived as a method to obscure a supply chain. Consequently, a suddenly large investment in reloading equipment and components, especially by someone new to the practice, might be flagged as an indicator of someone preparing for a scenario where they need a large, untraceable cache of ammunition, placing the purchase in a category that invites scrutiny. Specialized protective and hazard gear. Gas masks and full nuclear, biological, and chemical NBC suits are highly specialized pieces of personal protective equipment. For the average person, there are very few everyday reasons to own such gear. Their primary function is to protect the wearer from airborne toxins, chemical agents, biological threats, or radioactive fallout. While industrial workers in specific fields like hazardous material handling or certain manufacturing sectors use this equipment as part of their job, it is rarely bought casually by the general public. This is precisely why purchasing them can attract attention. The main red flag associated with these items is their direct link to crisis preparedness. Unlike storing extra food or water, acquiring a gas mask or NBC suit suggests preparation for a very specific and severe type of emergency. Sales of this equipment often spike during periods of social unrest, pandemic fears, or heightened geopolitical tensions involving threats of chemical or biological warfare. Monitoring agencies are aware of these trends and often track sales data for such items. A sudden increase in purchases can be interpreted as an indicator of public anxiety or, in some cases, preparation for offensive action or civil disobedience, such as planning to navigate through tear gas during protests. Furthermore, the very nature of this gear implies an anticipation of events far beyond a common natural disaster. It signals a belief that one might face exposure to weaponized agents or severe industrial accident. While a prepper might see it as the ultimate safety precaution, authorities might view the acquisition of multiple suits and masks as a sign someone is preparing for a biohazard event or planning to operate in a contaminated zone. The purchase is not illegal, but it falls into a category of preparedness that is so specific and extreme that it stands out, potentially leading to the buyer's inclusion on a list of individuals with a heightened level of perceived threat preparedness. 7. Industrial-grade water filtration systems. A signal of long-term preparedness. Water is the cornerstone of survival, and industrial-grade water filtration systems are a clear indicator of someone planning for long-term self-reliance. Unlike standard household filters, these heavy-duty systems are designed to purify large quantities of water, often removing contaminants like heavy metals, bacteria, and even viruses. They're not just for camping trips or emergency kits. They're built for sustained use in off-grid or disaster scenarios. When paired with food storage gear, the purchase of such systems paints a picture of someone preparing for extended periods of self-sufficiency. This could be due to concerns about natural disasters, societal instability, or even personal beliefs about the fragility of modern infrastructure. While there's nothing inherently wrong with being prepared, bulk purchases of industrial-grade water filtration systems can raise eyebrows, especially when combined with other survivalist items. Authorities and retailers may flag these purchases as they often align with behaviors associated with preppers or individuals planning for extreme scenarios. In some cases, these systems are also used in remote or off-grid locations, which can trigger interest from agencies monitoring unconventional lifestyles. If you're buying one of these systems, it's worth considering how it fits into your overall preparedness plan and whether it might attract unwanted attention. 8. Solar generators and backup power banks. The off-grid energy solution. Solar generators and backup power banks are becoming increasingly popular, not just for their eco-friendly appeal, but also for their utility and emergency preparedness. These devices provide a reliable source of power during outages, making them a staple for anyone looking to maintain independence from the grid. However, large-scale purchases of solar generators, especially those capable of powering entire homes, can raise red flags. These purchases are often cross-referenced with databases tracking alternative energy usage. While solar energy is a legitimate and growing industry, authorities may scrutinize buyers who appear to be setting up off-grid systems. This is particularly true if the purchase is accompanied by other survivalist gear, as it suggests a deliberate move towards self-sufficiency. For those who value privacy, it's important to note that large solar purchases are often tracked. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. Many governments and organizations monitor alternative energy adoption to promote sustainability. However, in the context of survival gear, it could signal a lifestyle choice that attracts attention. If you're investing in solar generators, consider how they fit into your overall preparedness strategy and whether you're comfortable with the potential scrutiny. 9. Tactical knives and fixed blades. Tools or red flag. Tactical knives and fixed blades, especially military-grade models, are essential tools for many outdoor enthusiasts, hunters, and survivalists. Brands like Kabar and Gerber Tactical are renowned for their durability and functionality, making them popular choices for those who need reliable gear. However, these knives can also attract attention for reasons beyond their practical use. In some cases, tactical knives are flagged during customs inspections or airport security check. Their military-grade design and branding can make them appear more like weapons than tools, leading to additional scrutiny. Over-purchasing these items, especially in bulk, can also raise suspicion. Authorities may view it as stockpiling, which could be interpreted as preparation for activities outside the norm. While owning a tactical knife is perfectly legal in most places, it's important to be mindful of how and where you use or transport them. If you're buying these knives as part of a larger survival kit, consider the potential implications. Are you purchasing them for practical use, or are they part of a broader preparedness plan that might draw attention? Being aware of these factors can help you make informed decisions and avoid unnecessary complications. 10 bulk survival food buckets, a sign of panic or preparedness. Survival food buckets, especially when purchased in bulk, are a staple for those preparing for emergencies. These buckets often contain freeze-dried or dehydrated meals with long shelf lives, making them ideal for disaster scenarios or extended periods of self-reliance. However, large-scale purchases of these items can raise red flags, particularly during times of crisis. Data spikes in the sale of survival food buckets are often flagged as panic behavior. This is especially true during natural disasters, economic downturns, or global events that create uncertainty. Retailers and authorities may monitor these trends to gauge public sentiment and preparedness levels. While buying a few buckets for personal use is unlikely to attract attention, placing large orders can signal prepper tendencies, which may draw scrutiny. For those who value privacy, it's worth considering how your purchases might be perceived. Bulk buying during a crisis can make you stand out, even if your intentions are purely practical. If you're building a long-term food supply, spreading out your purchases over time, or buying from multiple sources can help you avoid unnecessary attention. Remember, preparedness is about being ready, not reactive. 11. High-capacity water storage barrels, practical or suspicious. Water storage barrels, particularly those with capacities exceeding 50 gallons, are a practical solution for anyone looking to ensure a reliable water supply. These barrels are commonly used in off-grid living, farming, or emergency preparedness. However, purchasing them in unusual volumes can raise eyebrows, as it may signal bunker prepping or a move toward complete self-sufficiency. Authorities and retailers often monitor large purchases of water storage barrels, especially when they coincide with other survivalist gear. This is because water is a critical resource, and stockpiling it in significant quantities suggests a level of preparedness that goes beyond the average household. While there's nothing wrong with being prepared, these purchases can attract attention from those who monitor off-grid or unconventional lifestyles. If you're investing in high-capacity water storage, it's important to consider how it fits into your overall preparedness plan. Are you buying these barrels for practical use, such as farming or emergency readiness, or are they part of a larger strategy that might draw scrutiny? Being mindful of these factors can help you make informed decisions and avoid unnecessary complications. 12. Firearms accessories, the under-the-radar red flag. Firearms accessories, such as scopes, grips, and triggers, are often more closely monitored than firearms themselves. These items are essential for customizing and improving the functionality of firearms, making them popular among hunters, sport shooters, and survivalists. However, their purchase can raise red flags, particularly when bought in large quantities or alongside other survival gear. Unlike firearms, which are heavily regulated and require background checks, accessories often fly under the radar. This makes them a point of interest for authorities who monitor unusual purchasing patterns. For example, buying multiple high-end scopes or specialized triggers may suggest an intent to modify firearms for specific purposes, which can attract scrutiny. If you're purchasing firearms accessories, it's important to be aware of how your buying habits might be perceived. Are you upgrading your gear for practical reasons, or are you stockpiling items that could raise questions? Being transparent about your intentions and spreading out your purchases can help you avoid unnecessary attention. Remember, responsible ownership and use are key to staying under the radar while enjoying your gear. 13 EMP-proof bags and Faraday cages. The Doomsday Tech EMP-proof bags and Faraday cages are specialized tools designed to protect electronic devices from electromagnetic pulses, EMPs, or other forms of electronic interference. These items are often associated with doomsday scenarios, where individuals prepare for catastrophic events that could disable modern technology. While they serve a legitimate purpose, their purchase can attract niche data profiling, particularly for anti-surveillance or off-grid activity. These tools are commonly used by individuals who prioritize privacy and security, such as journalists, researchers, or tech enthusiasts. However, in the context of survival gear, they may signal a deeper level of preparedness that goes beyond the norm. Authorities and retailers may flag these purchases as they align with behaviors associated with extreme prepping or anti-establishment ideologies. If you're buying EMP-proof bags or Faraday cages, it's important to consider how they fit into your overall preparedness strategy. Are you using them to protect valuable electronics during travel, or are they part of a broader plan to shield devices from potential threats? Being mindful of these factors can help you make informed decisions and avoid unnecessary attention. 14 satellite phones. A lifeline with strings attached. Satellite phones are invaluable tools for communication in remote areas where traditional cell service is unavailable. They're often used by adventurers, researchers, and emergency responders. However, these devices are also registered to GPS networks, making them subject to monitoring, particularly for international calls or off-grid activity. The purchase of a satellite phone can raise red flags, especially when combined with other survivalist gear. Authorities may view these devices as tools for evading traditional communication networks, which can attract scrutiny. This is particularly true in regions where off-grid living or unconventional lifestyles are closely monitored. If you're investing in a satellite phone, it's worth considering how it fits into your overall communication plan. Are you using it for practical purposes, such as staying connected during outdoor adventures, or is it part of a larger strategy to maintain privacy? Being transparent about your intentions and using the device responsibly can help you avoid unnecessary complications. 15 lock-picking kits. Tools or trouble. Lock-picking kits are versatile tools that can be used for legitimate purposes, such as locksmithing, hobbyist activities, or emergency access. However, they're also flagged under the category of dual-use tools, meaning they have both legal and potentially illegal application. This places them in a legal gray area that can raise security concerns. The purchase of a lock-picking kit can attract attention, particularly if it's part of a larger collection of survival gear. Authorities may view these tools as indicators of intent to bypass security measures, even if they're being used responsibly. In some jurisdictions, owning a lock-picking kit is legal, but using it without proper authorization can lead to legal consequences. If you're buying a lock-picking kit, it's important to be aware of the laws in your area and how your purchase might be perceived. Are you using the kit for practical purposes, such as learning a new skill or preparing for emergencies, or is it part of a broader plan that might draw scrutiny? Being mindful of these factors can help you make informed decisions and avoid unnecessary complications. 16 survival seed vaults. A signal of long-term isolation planning. Survival seed vaults are collections of heirloom or non-GMO seeds designed to provide a sustainable food source in the event of a crisis. These vaults are popular among homesteaders, gardeners, and preppers who prioritize self-reliance. However, their purchase can be data-linked to homesteading or anti-globalization groups, as they are often seen as a signal of long-term isolation planning. The appeal of seed vaults lies in their ability to support a self-sufficient lifestyle. They allow individuals to grow their own food, reducing dependence on external supply chains. While this is a practical and environmentally friendly choice, it can also attract attention from authorities or organizations monitoring unconventional lifestyles. Large-scale purchases or combining seed vaults with other survival gear may create a profile that raises red flags. If you're investing in a survival seed vault, it's worth considering how it fits into your overall preparedness strategy. Are you using it to enhance your gardening skills or as part of a broader plan for self-sufficiency? Being mindful of these factors can help you make informed decisions and avoid unnecessary scrutiny. 17. Tactical clothing and plate carriers. Building the prepper profile. Tactical clothing and plate carriers are essential for individuals who prioritize safety and functionality in high-risk situations. These items are commonly used by law enforcement, military personnel, and outdoor enthusiasts. However, when combined with other survival gear, they can create a full prepper profile that attracts attention. Online stores often track and resell data related to purchases of tactical gear. This information can be used to build consumer profiles, which may be flagged for further analysis. Authorities may view these purchases as indicators of someone preparing for extreme scenarios, particularly if they include items like body armor or military-grade equipment. If you're buying tactical clothing or plate carriers, it's important to consider how your purchases might be perceived. Are you using them for practical purposes, such as outdoor activities or personal safety, or are they part of a larger preparedness plan? Being transparent about your intentions and spreading out your purchases can help you avoid unnecessary complication. 18. Drones with mapping or thermal cameras. Eyes in the sky. Drones equipped with mapping or thermal cameras are powerful tools for a variety of applications, from search and rescue operations to agricultural monitoring. However, these advanced features can also raise red flags, particularly if the drones are used near sensitive areas or for unconventional purposes. Authorities often monitor the use of drones with specialized capabilities, as they can pose security risks. For example, thermal cameras can be used to detect heat signatures, while mapping features can provide detailed geographical data. These capabilities make drones valuable for legitimate purposes, but also potential tools for surveillance or unauthorized activity. If you're purchasing a drone with mapping or thermal cameras, it's important to be aware of the regulations in your area. Are you using the drone for professional purposes, such as land surveying or wildlife monitoring, or is it part of a broader plan that might draw scrutiny? Being mindful of these factors can help you make informed decisions and avoid unnecessary attention. 19. Portable water desalinators, a tool for isolation or offshore living. Portable water desalinators are specialized devices designed to convert salt water into drinkable fresh water. While they are invaluable for sailors, offshore workers, and adventurers, their purchase is relatively uncommon and can signal a level of preparedness that goes beyond the average consumer. When bought in conjunction with other survival gear, these devices may raise red flags, as they suggest planning for long-term isolation or offshore living. The practicality of portable desalinators is undeniable. They provide a reliable water source in environments where fresh water is scarce, making them essential for maritime activities or remote locations. However, their niche use also makes them a point of interest for authorities or organizations monitoring unconventional lifestyles. Large-scale purchases or combining desalinators with other survivalist items can create a profile that attracts scrutiny. If you're investing in a portable water desalinator, it's important to consider how it fits into your overall preparedness strategy. Are you using it for practical purposes, such as boating or emergency readiness, or is it part of a broader plan for self-sufficiency? Being mindful of these factors can help you make informed decisions and avoid unnecessary attention. 20. Encryption and privacy tools. Completing the digital ghost profile. Encryption and privacy tools, such as VPNs and satellite Wi-Fi, are essential for individuals who prioritize online security and anonymity. These tools are commonly used by journalists, activists, and tech-savvy consumers. However, when purchased alongside survival gear, they can complete a digital ghost profile that raises red flags. The appeal of encryption tools lies in their ability to protect personal data and maintain privacy in an increasingly connected world. Satellite Wi-Fi, in particular, offers a way to stay online in remote areas, making it a valuable resource for off-grid living. However, authorities may view these purchases as indicators of someone attempting to evade traditional surveillance or communication networks. If you're buying encryption and privacy tools, it's worth considering how they fit into your overall lifestyle. Are you using them to enhance your online security, or are they part of a larger strategy to maintain anonymity? Being transparent about your intentions and using these tools responsibly can help you avoid unnecessary scrutiny. Remember, privacy is a right, but it's also a responsibility.